The Rabbeinu Avram continues. The Gemara says a similar story, that there was a place, the Gemara says, there was a snake, there was a scorpion. And every time a person would pass, he would go and he would bite the person, and the person would die. And they came to Reb Chanina ben Doiser, and Reb Chanina ben Doiser said, "Show me where he is." And he put his heel on the hole there. And the scorpion came and he bit Reb Chanina ben Doiser and he died. And Reb Chanina ben Doiser picked him up and he carried him to the Beis Medrash, and he said, "Look, it's not the scorpion that kills, it's the sin, it's the Avera that kills." And Chazal said, but the point is, says the Rabbeinu Avram, you see clearly, of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that put the scorpion there in the first place, and he wants him to be there because he wants him to punish people who have Averas. But someone who has a real Bitachon, someone who internalizes and realizing and entrusts HaKadosh Baruch Hu with his life and everything in it, such a person is beyond nature itself. Not to say, says the Rabbeinu Avram, that a person should rely on this. As the Rabbeinu Avram says, a person should not rely on them. As we will clearly show that even the Av Hanavi and Moshe Rabbeinu, even Shmuel Hanavi, they didn't rely on Nisim. However, the fact remains that a person who lives at that level of Bitachon, like Reb Chanina ben Doiser, nature itself could not harm him. Says Rabbi Navim, there are many more stories in Talmud that a person who does not have Bitachon cannot believe these stories because he doesn't internalize the idea that everything in this world happens from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now says the Rabbeinu Avram, like we mentioned, that we cannot rely on these nisim. Even a Navi cannot. If someone who's not a Navi, then of course if he's not absolutely necessary to do so, then a person is not allowed to put himself in a matzav skana. Like Shmuel Navi said, how can I go to Shaul? He'll kill me. Moshe Rabbeinu ran away from Paroi. When his stick turned into a snake, he ran away from the snake. Eliyahu Navi ran away. And the Torah says, we see clearly that the Torah says a person should not put himself in the matzav of sakana. The Gemara in Taina says, because maybe even if the nes will happen, what will happen is he'll lose his schar. Says Rabbeinu Avram, therefore, I say, says Rabbeinu Avram, that a person should never put himself in a matzav sakana, like for example, to travel the oceans or to travel the deserts, which are becheske sakanas for ishtadlus for parnasa. Adarabba, there is sometimes when a person can do so. If a person has to go away from a Gzeir Shmad, or because the government is running after him or something, then a person is allowed to do so. Maybe a person will say, says Rabbeinu Avram, I see that people are traveling the oceans for Parnas and they're being saved, they're okay, they're surviving. Says there in Avram, if they're not tzaddikim, all they're doing is using up their schar, they're using it up here to save their lives. So what's the point? Adarabba, says there in Avram clearly that a person who is not at the level of a Navi, or even a person who's at the level at the Navi, as he showed clearly that these Nevi'im did not put themselves in a matzav of sakana unnecessarily. Says the Rabbeinu Avram, in order for a person to get parnasa or for other gashmias, a person is not allowed to put himself in these situations which he calls becheske sakana. Have a wonderful day.